Hello everyone, so today we are going to be doing a run through on Blizzard's Heroes of the Storm, a MOBA style game from the guys at Blizzard, and it's very much drawing together what we know from the character archetypes of Blizzard's games, so World of Warcraft, Starcraft and Diablo. Now, to get things started, let's have a quick look around the interface. So firstly, along the bottom, we've got our character portrait area, and this basically gives us our hero's progress, a summary of our profile, rewards and our daily quests. So here you can basically see each of the heroes I've leveled up, their current hero level and what's been unlocked for each hero. The rewards are basically when you first start the game, you will have to level up your profile to level 30 before you can start doing league matches. Whilst you're leveling up your profile, you'll unlock bonuses, and some of these are gold that you can put towards buying new heroes. Daily quests give you things you can try to do every single day in order to get some more gold. So for instance, play 3 games as a support hero, 3 games as a warrior, 3 games as an assassin. There are also things like play 8 games, win 3 games and so on. Now if we go back, our next area is the play area. This is where we can set up our games. We'll come back to that in a moment. The shop is where we can purchase new heroes, either for gold or real cash. We can also buy skins, make our heroes look nicer, mounts, and there are bundles so you can save some cash as well. Now the stim packs are all about giving you XP boosts, doubling or in this case 150% additional XP if you happen to be using a stim pack boost, and also a gold boost as well. The watch area is where we can go over all of our old games we've played previously and see how we did and so on. Community has not yet been implemented. Over here is the chat window, so we can talk to, well, pretty much anybody who happens to be in the chat at this moment, and also the friends and party list here as well. Interestingly, you can tick to say I'm looking for a party, and then people will actually get a prompt saying someone is looking for a party, invite them to your team. And then we have the obligatory menu. But for now, let's go back to play. Now I'm going to go and change my hero, and we're going to do this as Thrall, just because he's a lot of fun to play. Okay, so what we're going to do now is play a game. We're going to play this with Thrall, and all we need to do is hit ready up. And what it will now do is start searching, and very quickly it should find us some people we can play with. Now the whole point of Thrall is he is a melee assassin. That means he's all about the up close and personal, but he does also have quite a lot of good zone control options as well. People don't tend to want to get too close to Thrall during the later game because he's going to hit you hard and do an awful lot of damage very quickly. Alright, good team mix here by the looks of it. A bit of support, plenty of damage. We're going to be playing the Haunted Mines. There are 5, I think, different maps so far, and each one takes on a different theme with different objectives. Now, as I said in my preview, Heroes of the Storm is very much an objective-based game. Teams that ignore the objectives, or don't play as a team to capture those objectives and fulfill the goals, tend to lose. It's as simple as that. A good team works together and stays together in Heroes of the Storm. Now, load times can vary. It all depends on the speed of everyone else's computers. Unfortunately, there is no loading bar here for individual heroes. All we have is one master one, as it were. So sometimes it can take 30 seconds or even a minute before it will start the game. Now, on this particular map, we have a mine. Now, we will have to go visit the mine, kill things in the mine, and the more things we kill, well, the faster we will get our creature up and running. The creature is really important to us. That is basically going to do an awful lot of damage by rampaging down the lanes. Or is it, actually? It might be the curse on this one. I can't quite remember exactly what happens with the objective here. I think it's the curse, but it could very well be a creature. Can't quite remember. Either way, when we fulfill that objective, what will happen is a benefit to our team, basically. Now, one thing to note is that there are no items in this game. What happens is we all level up as a team together, so we're all building XP for the whole team in one go. And as we level up, we will unlock new powers. So one thing that I'm doing here is I want to really buff up Wind Fury at every opportunity. Increases my movement speed and also gives me a few other bonus options as well. Because every attack I land gives me Frostwolf Resilience. 5 charges of that gives me a heal when it hits. during the later half of the game, that becomes extraordinarily powerful. And you can see here, we're mostly all staying together up on this top lane. We're going to try and zone control, basically. We want to keep them away from this mine as much as we can. At this stage, lots of everybody dancing around each other. No one's going to really go in for the kill unless they see a clear opportunity. There's one. Gone. You see what we're doing here? We're just slowly winding down their health as much as we can, and then there'll be an opportunity where a couple of the range can just put in a range attack and knock somebody out. But like I say, this is the mine we want, entrance we want to use, and so we're trying to zone control. Try and keep the enemy as far away from it as possible so that we can get in there first. Now Wind Fury gives me a speed boost, which is really useful for either running away from things or trying to chase heroes down. We've still only got 3 here, we've got 1 person below. Now bearing in mind, look, we're not really fighting the creeps, this is not about attacking creeps or anything like that. We do get XP for creeps, but we let them fight it out with each other. What we're interested in is zone control and heroes if we can kill them. Because our XP all ticks up together, if we're able, when we hit level 10, to have a small boost level-wise over our opponent, even if it's just 10 seconds, that means we have our ultimate heroic abilities for 10 seconds when the enemy team doesn't. You'd be surprised how often that can swing the fight. Right, here we go, we're into the mines. Straight away everyone's in, and the first thing we do is go looking for these creatures that we need. With a tent, someone usually hangs around there, just try and make the enemy heroes think twice about coming in here. If they do come in, we are going to destroy them, is the plan. So here they come. They've been really stupid. Going to land at least one of those out. Let's see if we can kill Azmodan as well. I think I'm going to die, yeah. But probably should have run away there, but anyway. So again here, it's level up time, so Mana Tide, Frostwolf Resilience also restores mana. That basically means that not only when I do my 5 hits do I heal, but I also start to regen mana as well. Very, very useful. Now one thing to note is everybody has a mount. You don't pay for this mount, there's no cost for this mount. It is a cosmetic, so you can buy prettier looking ones. But everybody gets a mount they can use, so it makes moving around the map really quickly a really, well, easy thing to do basically. All I'm trying to do here is just zone control. I want to get into the mine really, because over here we're going to be fighting a rather large creature in a moment. First, let's finish these guys off.
Good riddance.
Okay, now we're on to this big creature. This big creature will give us lots of the things we need for the objective. He does a lot of damage at this level, relative to obviously the amount of health I have and the recharge and regen I have as well. So I'm just going to leave combat for a second, just let someone else take the aggro on, and then come back in and finish him off. And we collect up all these. Once we get to 100 skulls, then we've completed the objective, I believe. Ah, right, no, it's timer. So basically what happens on this one, I'd forgotten, is once the mine has been cleared of all of the NPCs that give you these sort of golem skulls, then the golem will spawn. Whoever has collected the most has the most powerful golem, and it will set off down the lanes and start destroying things. Where it dies, it stops, and it will then be resurrected during the next objective phase at that point. So it makes it very strategic. You've got to choose whether you're going to back up your golem or try and stop the enemy's golem, or a little bit of both. Done well, this is where the kind of tide of the battle really can be changed. Whoops, time for some sippy cup. The sippy cup, otherwise known as a healing well, someone on a live stream called it the sippy cup, and it's just stuck with me. So it's a sippy cup. Basically it gives you a regen buff. So what you'll get is a health regen and also a mana regen as well. Now, why are we not... Right, so it looks like I'm defending here by the looks of it. So throw out some fork lightning, or chain lightning, and then just wail away on this guy a little bit. Now bearing in mind their golem is significantly weaker than ours. He has less health, he does less damage. So, oops, got rooted. So from my perspective, he's not, you know, we've got 2 guys here sort of defending against theirs, and we've got 3 of ours backing up our much harder one. In theory, we should be able to do a lot more damage than they're going to be able to do. But obviously they've put 3 heroes on trying to stop our hero. So you can see that it's kind of the meta of this is reasonably deep on how you kind of deal with this little problem. The further he gets down my lanes before he dies, the more the threat he's going to be later. And obviously if they manage to then energise one of their golems substantially more than we've managed in a future phase, then we could be in real trouble if we don't stop him early enough. In this case we managed to stop him on the very first fort. Mr. Ski really was being silly there. He should have backed off. Never ever ever stay toe to toe with someone who has more health than you, because most likely you're going to die. Right, so what we're looking for here is there's nothing necessarily that helps my Frostwolf or my Wind Fury in a way that I'm interested in. So the option there gives me an instant heal, means I can turn that into a clickable power. Actually not necessary. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go for empowering my cooldowns. So I want my cooldowns to pop quicker, and every time I do a basic hit, cooldowns go faster. Later on in the game that means I'm popping Wind Fury much more often along with my other powers. It's a big decider. Now what I think I'm going to do here is I'm going to head over and try and support our guys here because they're being pushed back a little bit. Actually no, I'm not. I've changed my mind because they're just retreating anyway. We're going to stay up here and we're going to wait for the mine. We'll grab a little bit of XP. Now, I've got another power pop. This is my ultimate, level 10. So I'm going to go with Earthquake here. Sundering is useful, but Earthquake is better for chase downs. Simple as that. And if we end up in a big fight with sort of 3 or 4 players, heroes on either side, then that can actually turn the tide of battle. Now what we're doing now is grabbing these mercenary camps. Mercenary camps are basically NPCs. We capture the camp, we turn those mercenaries on our opponent's fort. Capture, they then fight for us. This is an absolutely essential tactic because it will force the enemy team to have to deal with those mercenaries for a time. You can see here, even they've decided that they need to get in on these mercenaries. But I've got Earthquake in, and it's going to go badly for them. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, he called in his ultimate. You can see there, the tide can turn quite quickly. I was basically out of position. My heroes are basically here, their heroes are over here, and I'm stuck in this little patch here. Thrall is quite susceptible to crowd control, so if he gets stuck with a bit of crowd control, it can be very sticky. What would have helped there is if Lily had been able to throw some heals into me. It would have just buffed me off that damage what I was taking whilst under crowd control. Would have gained a couple of seconds to escape. Wind Fury is very good for escaping if you can just get a couple of seconds away from someone. So again here, we're upgrading again. This time it's going to be Grace of Air. Wind Fury grant double Frostwolf resilience. Every basic hit, or every hit, gives me additional Frostwolf. Or should I say dealing damage, so every block of damage, as it were, deals Frostwolf. Now I'm going to pull back because there's not much I can do here really. Although if the hero's going to be silly, I might just snatch one. Alright, come on Lily, we need to get out of here. But actually, you know what we're going to do? We're going to try and hold this position, because at the moment they're trying to get into the mine, so I'm just going to hold them up for a little bit and then run away. And the idea there really is I'm just trying to stop them getting in there. You know, give them a few more seconds means that we're in there for a little bit longer, we get more objective points, and ultimately we will have the more powerful golem again. And we'll finish this guy off, head in, and then we're going to mop up basically, because our guys are in here and we can now catch the enemy team as they retreat. Beautiful. And that'll be a wipe. So now basically we are in full control of the mines, and we've got plenty of time. This is their respawn timers here. It's going to be 15 seconds before they're in, 24 seconds before they're in, and put it this way, more than enough time for us to mop up everything that's in here, I would say, before they get back. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make a start on this boss. The other guys will follow me in a minute. Put my Frostwolf on. You can see there I'm actually healing as he's damaging me, which is very, very useful, very beneficial for me. Imagine that on the enemy heroes. Essentially for every 5 hits I'm doing to them, I'm gaining back currently 589 health. That goes up every time I level. Okay, and there we go, we've captured that, and what we're going to do now is we're going to walk back. There's no point in us trying to exit the mine, it takes too long. We go back, get our mounts, and then power back out again. See, they've got a bit of a tear going on down here. Their enemy golem is there. Ours is practically in their base. They actually only managed to get through the first fort last time. So again, we're much more powerful, and the opportunity we have here is we can kind of just sit back actually and not worry too much about their golem for now, I don't think. What we'll do, we'll put a tear on down this lane, we'll push hard, and we'll see if we can dislodge them basically from this end fort. Should be doable. But the key thing now is being able to move as quick as we can. Bearing in mind they're all wailing away on ours, that's fine, they're nice and distracted. And we're going to come in here in a moment, and we're just going to catch them. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay down my earthquake. And that will just slow them down. Causes a bit of confusion as well for people. Why am I suddenly running so slowly? Okay, here we are on to our next upgrade. So just quickly, Wind Fury Final Strike hits 3 times. That's additional Frostwolf opportunities. And essentially means that in combat I'm then able to do with Frostwolf 6 hits, I believe. Or, sorry, 5 hits, which effectively is one set of heals. So we'll just mash this fort defensive and we'll take out their sippy cup. And just lock that guy down for a moment. Just see if we can chase him down. He's gone. Got him. This is where Thrall becomes really, really dangerous because he's able to heal as he's doing hits, and he's able to actually chase you down and put that damage in. So we can get a lightning strike on him there, and that was as simple as that really. That's kind of the perfect play for Thrall. They're running away, and all you need to do is just tap in the lightning strike to finish them off. This is the enemy's nexus, as it were. This is what we're trying to destroy. This is going to be a very, very fast game, I have to say. Finished in just under 12 minutes. Done. 12 minutes. Brilliant. The average game will take anything up to 20 minutes, sometimes even longer, up to 30 minutes. The average game is around 20 to 25 minutes. But hopefully that has been an interesting look at Heroes of the Storm for you. I can say that was a particularly quick game, but it gave you a flavour for how Heroes of the Storm plays. It is very objective based. If your team plays for those objectives and locks them down, does plenty of zone control, then it is pretty much impossible to stop you, unless you have another team that is going to play hard for those objectives. So on this final screen we get our XP, as well as obviously the stim bonus for our XP boost, and we also get a gold boost as well. 20 points from completing a match, or 20 gold for completing a match, 10 if you win, and then your stim pack bonus as well. So you can see there that Thrall is just a little shy of his level 8, and my player level is coming up nearly to 18. We can leave the game, and then of course we can play a new game. It's as simple as that. I hope that has been an interesting look around Heroes of the Storm for you. Do please let me know in the comments if you'd like to see some more of these gameplay videos kind of explaining how this game actually works. We'll do some more playthroughs with different hero types and some different strategies. Do feel free to like and comment on this video as well. Thanks for watching. Don't forget you can pledge $1 a month on Patreon to help support the Androidizen, keeping us 100% independent. An honest opinion direct from the UK. If you pledge $1 a month, you'll be entered into our prize pool to win cool items from our review bag. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe and comment. We love to chat.